Conflicting claims of legal representatives can be decided in execution proceedings or not. This question was decided in one judgment, that is Varadarajan versus Kanakavalli and others, dated 22nd January 2020 by Honorable Supreme Court. Important paragraphs. Paragraph number 8. We may state that Order 22 of the Code is applicable to the pending proceedings in a suit, but the conflicting claims of legal representatives can be decided in execution proceedings in view of the principles of Rule 5 of Order 22. This court, in a judgment reported as V. Udhirapati versus Ashtraf and others, held that the normal principle arising in a suit before the decree is passed that the legal representatives ought to be brought on record within a particular period is not applicable to cases of death of the decree holder or the judgment debtor in execution proceedings. This court held as under Order 22, Rule 12 of the Code of Civil Procedure reads as follows. Order 22, Rule 12. Application of order to proceedings. Nothing in Rules 3, 4 and 8 shall apply to proceedings in execution of a decree or order. In other words, the normal principle arising in a suit before the decree is passed that the legal representatives ought to be brought on record within a particular period, and if not, the suit could abate, is not applicable to case of death of the decree holder or the judgment debtor in execution proceedings. In Venkatachalam Chetty versus Ramaswamy Servar, a full bench of the Madras High Court has held that this rule enacts that the penalty of abatement shall not attach to execution proceedings. Mulla's commentary on CPC refers to a large number of judgments of the High Courts and says, Rule 12 engrafts an exemption which provides that where a party to an execution proceedings dies during its pendency, provisions as to abatement do not apply. The rule is therefore for the benefit of the decree holder, for his case need not take steps for substitution under Rule 2, but may apply immediately or at any time while the proceeding is pending to carry on the proceeding, or they may file a fresh execution application. In our opinion, the above statement of law in Mulla's commentary on CPC correctly represents the legal position relating to the procedure to be adopted by the parties in execution proceedings and as to the powers of the civil court. Para 14. In view of the aforesaid judgments, we find that the appellant is the sole claimant to the estate of the deceased on the basis of will. The executing court has found that the appellant is the legal representative of the deceased competent to execute the decree. In view of the said fact, the appellant as the legal representative is entitled to execute the decree and to take it to its logical end. Paragraph 15. In addition to the nature of proceedings, to implement the legal representative to execute the decree, we find that none of the tests laid down in Section 115 of the Code were satisfied by the High Court so as to set aside the order passed by the executing court. The High Court, in exercise of revision jurisdiction, has interfered with the order passed by the executing court as if it was acting as the first court of appeal. An order passed by a subordinate court can be interfered with only if it exercises its jurisdiction not vested in it by law or has failed to exercise its jurisdiction so vested or has acted in exercise of jurisdiction illegally or with material irregularity. The mere fact that the High Court had a different view on the same facts would not confer jurisdiction to interfere with an order passed by the executing court. Consequently, the order passed by the High Court is set aside and that of the executing court is restored. The appeal is allowed.